My name is Aleka. I'm 22, and I'm going to be starting to make some videos about fundamentalism, specifically Christian fundamentalism, and the effects it has on women and girls. My background is I've been all sorts of Christian. I've been Baptist, Assemblies of God, Home Church, Pseudo-Mennonite, Eastern Orthodox. I run the whole gamut, pretty much. Very much into my parents were very much into fundamentalism. We were never at ATI, but there were points when we could have been ATI. We were so close. Vision Forum was a big one. Tapestry of Grace, if you're at all familiar with that. All of this stuff. HSLDA, Teen Pact. This is what my family was really big into. Growing up, my goal in life, I was supposed to be a wife and mother, have a million kids, homeschool them all, and I was going to help mate to my husband. The biggest issues for me when I was in fundamentalism were courtship and being a lady, pretty much. And then politics. But I had to be careful about that. That was when I was starting to evolve in my, taking more control as an independent woman. But, especially the biggest issues were courtship and being a lady. As for courtship, been there, done that, got the marriage certificate, not worth it. And for being a lady, hey, I've got a job outside the home and I'm working and getting, finishing my bachelor's so I can go on to get my doctorate, which never quite lined up with you don't really need anything past high school because you only need to teach up to high school, really, and as long as you can help your children and you can clean house and cook for your husband and do something, useful like sewing, you're set. So that's where I grew up. Now, let me just explain. Let's characterize me then. I was proud to be called a feminist misogynist, in that I supported women, but at the same time I thought they had a very specific gender role, and that was in the home as a wife and mother. And I didn't really approve of women who went out and did other things. I based that off of Proverbs 31. Well, that doesn't really get me very far. So I feel qualified to commentate on the subjects I'm going to be discoursing on, because I used to believe that. I've been there, and now I'm sitting there going, what was I thinking? Because right now I'm really not entirely sure. Because I'm looking at this going, people think this? Why do people think this? This is so absurd, stupid, and kind of abusive. Mentally, emotionally, spiritually, pretty much. And sometimes even physically. Why I want to commentate is because this is an issue that's very near and dear to my heart. I've been there, and I got out, and it's not easy to get out of this kind of thing at all. There's not enough awareness for the issues that go on. I know that there's a rising movement to try and promote awareness. Hillary McFarland just wrote a book called Quivering Daughters, which is very predominantly Christian, and so people who are not Christian might have issues with that. It's still worth a read. And I'm not just saying this because something I wrote was in there. That's another story. But it's slowly gaining momentum, but this movement needs all the help it can get, because for conservative fundamentalist women who want to leave, that's a very scary thing. They don't have a lot of resources out there for them, and they don't have a lot of skill set that they can survive in the real world. So I want to raise awareness. I want to let other women out there know, hey, look, you know what? I did this. You can do it too. And I just want to call out the people who still buy into it on what they're saying and be like, are you really thinking about this? Do you really understand everything that's going on? Do you realize what you're saying and the effects it's going to have. Do you understand the ramifications involved in this? So, as someone who used to be Christian and is now agnostic with a pagan tendencies, oldest of 9 children, homeschooled all the way through high school, and who grew up wearing head coverings and skirts and all that jazz, I'm kind of liberal now. And so I kind of want to document my journey and just look at what's still being spewed forth by these people and what they're buying into and being like, look, this is not okay and this is why. So that's me in brief, and I hope you not necessarily enjoy what I have to say, but I hope it makes you think and we can dialogue about it, because discourse, argument, hey, that was the whole team pack thing that instilled a love in me for that. So we'll see what happens. Thanks.